Have you ever saved up money for literally anything? Well, that's what I'm doing. This is flipping PCs until I buy a house. I don't know the exact amount I need, but the milestone I'm trying to reach is $15,000 saved up. In the last episode, we sold 3 computers. This black one with a Ryzen 5 5600 and RTX 3070, then this white one which has the same specs, and this other white one which has an i7 6700K and GTX 1080 Ti. Profit on those 3 systems was a little over $600, so that puts us at $10,669 saved up. In today's episode, I built some pretty sweet looking computers, I have to deal with troubleshooting broken components, and I also take my biggest risk yet when flipping PCs. We will get to all that after a quick word from our sponsor. Jawa.gg is the best online marketplace for gamers to buy and sell old or new gaming gear. You can sell individual components to fully built custom PCs, and they also added a new retro section where you can sell cool old retro tech. If you're looking to flip PCs like me, they're the place to be. It's a pretty straightforward process to sell. All you have to do is list an item and just play the waiting game. Jawa has a wide customer base who are actively browsing their site looking for deals, so if you can price your computer competitively, then I have no doubt you'll find success. And if you're a new customer on their site, use the discount code ElijahsLab10 to save 10% on your first order. Be sure to visit them with the links down below. Thank you, Jawa. And now let's get back to the video. What up? Long time no see, huh? Now that the camera is finally back on, let's just pick off right where we left it. Previously, I had these 2 Zotac RTX 3070s that were giving me display issues, and I thought I was literally going to lose 400 bucks. For a quick backstory, I bought these on eBay for a pretty decent price. However, they needed replacement fans. I ended up buying new ones on AliExpress, then I did the swap, and after that I began to test the GPUs again, but they were showing me some display issues like no signal, and if it did give me a signal, the performance was pretty bad. Now it turns out the issue I was having was actually with my test computer I was using. At least I'm pretty sure it might be a bad motherboard, specifically a bad PCIe slot. In the event viewer, it kept having the same error like a million times. The message was the same on every error and had something to do with PCIe. I then retested the GPUs on a completely different motherboard setup, and thank the PC gods, luckily everything is working with no more display issues. Matter of fact, these cards run great. Under full load, the temp was around the mid 60s, and the drivers were stable in games with no stutters or crashes like it was previously showing. I was just pretty happy these work, but my test computer might need a new motherboard, but that will be for another project. So where do we go from here? Well, I think it's only right if we start building some computers with these RTX 3070s. To start this build, we're gonna grab a CPU, going with this new Ryzen 5 5600X that I bought off of AliExpress. I'm pairing that with this little motherboard right here. As you can see, it already has RAM, also has a CPU. I bought 3 of these kits on eBay, but I'm just taking out the CPU and RAM and using the motherboard. Now we're gonna need some RAM, so I'm gonna grab this bag right here. Price is right on it, $32.80. 32 gigabytes clocked at 3200 megahertz. And the last thing we need for the motherboard is a simple NVMe SSD. It's from Intel and it's 1 terabyte. The motherboard is prepped. Let's go and hook it up to my test setup and make sure we get a post. I have a little stock cooler on the CPU so it doesn't get too hot. Let's just flip the power switch and moment of truth. Okay, fans are lighting up. Fans are spinning and we get some lights. Keyboard lit up over here. It has been doing this for a few minutes. The fans are still spinning, all the lights are still on, nothing has shut off, but it hasn't given me a signal. It hasn't even said no signal on the monitor. So what's wrong? My guess is the motherboard needs a BIOS update. The CPU that came with the motherboard was a Ryzen 5 2400G, so I just bet the motherboard doesn't support Ryzen 5000 series yet. Fully made it into the BIOS, and there is the version we're running, version F40. So let's see how old that actually is. Here is version F40, May 6, 2019. I'm gonna update all the way to F67G, March 11th, 2025. BIOS is updating. Let's just pray the system doesn't shut off. Oh yeah, it worked. 5600X, and the RAM is running at XMP already. Now we can take this motherboard and install it in the case, but before I do that, I want to get it ready for the cooler and install the AIO mounting hardware. Now it's time for the case. I'm using the Zalman P10 in white. I love the look of this case. It just has that popular fish tank style design, but this one is really clean and the build quality is really good as well. I could recommend this case, and it also has a built-in GPU sag bracket. I'm just about to install the AIO, but I want to make some changes to it and to the case. I'm just going to be doing a good old fan swap for nice ARGB Infinity fans that I bought off of AliExpress. I bought 10 of them on sale just to try out. It was around $3 each. I've used a couple, and so far they're actually pretty good. The build is coming along and it's looking great. I already pre-routed all the front panel cables, and I installed some white Formula Mod cable extensions. There's the CPU one. That 24 pin has a really nice curve. And there's the PCIe cables. To finish off this build, we have the power supply and of course that RTX 3070. The power supply is just as simple, a PVA Prestige 600 watt 80 plus gold. And then here are two items that I'm adding to the build: RGB controller and a USB Wi-Fi dongle. The build is done, but now it's time to see if I actually did my job correctly. Okay, at least turns on. Oh yeah, those Infinity fans look good. Still need to take off the plastic peel on them though. Oh, I see the monitor light up. I think we're making it in, baby. Just right behind me, you can see the computer. And then right here, we have another one. This is the same exact computer, Ryzen 5 5600X and RTX 3070. I already tested and benchmarked this one, so now I'm gonna do the same to this computer. Here is the PC now, no CPU, RAM, or GPU. Yeah, it was a long day. I'm going to put this thing back together, hopefully fix it, and I'll come back when it's fully functional. In the meantime, I'll play a few clips from last night. Bro, I've been trying to test this computer since I turned the camera off. That was about 4 hours ago. As you can see, the game is literally just frozen. Yeah, it's been doing this every game. Call of Duty, Cyberpunk, and now Fortnite. Now this RTX 3070 might actually be broken. Every time the game freezes, it then crashes, and this is the error I get in the event viewer. Then about another hour, I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news, I just got done playing 2 games of Call of Duty on that RTX 3070 and it had 0 issues whatsoever. No crashes, nothing like that. No issues, like I said. Bad news, I tried 2 different GPUs on this computer and they both gave me no signal. So something is broken inside this computer. I have some more concrete evidence that this RTX 3070 is in fact not broken. So this computer finally booted with another GPU, ignore the sag. And would you look at that, we have that same GPU ID 700 error in the event log. There is the time 8:05, and there is the time right there, 8:07. So yeah, that error is from that GPU in there. My guess is the motherboard is bad. Well, I was wrong, did a full motherboard swap, and we're getting the same error. It is a little later, and I'm playing Call of Duty. I think I can finally say that the second RTX 3070 computer is fixed. If you were paying attention to what RAM I used, you might notice it is now different. That was the issue. It's been working ever since I did a RAM swap. I mean, that's why I'm playing some Call of Duty. And luckily, the seller on eBay is letting me return the RAM. We're back, and yep, that was the issue all along, the RAM. I did not expect that, but I sure am happy that I figured it out. And these computers perform really good too. In Call of Duty Black Ops 6 with native 1440p and a mix of high and low settings, we were averaging around the 120 FPS mark. Then in Fortnite, it is an easier game to run. I set it at 1440p with pro settings, and we were averaging above the 200 FPS mark. All said and done, the computers look great and perform pretty good. One of them cost me $589.71 and the other one cost me $574.39. both pretty close in price. I checked for similar builds on Java and saw they were selling for around the $900 mark, so I'm deciding to list at 950 bucks. The market is kind of weird right now. Systems are priced higher than they should be, and sales are pretty slow. However, about a week ago, we did sell a computer, so that's good. But right now I'm talking to the buyer and it might be getting returned, so slow sales, and one sale is getting returned. Well, I guess I could tell you about the computer. It's rocking Ryzen 5 3600, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, and for the GPU, it's an RTX 2070. I built 2 of these computers just like those RTX 3070 ones, and I'm still sitting on one of them, and then like I said, one of them literally might be getting returned. But let's go back to when we dropped the computer off, because I do want to show you something. I just dropped the computer off at the UPS store, but I also picked up another computer that we're gonna try to flip for some profit. So here's the computer, plus a bunch of other packages. I made it home with the computer, and I don't really have time right now to do what I want with it. However, I bought it from jawwood.gg, and they have a 2-day grace period when you buy a product, so I want to fully test it before then. You should also comment below and try to guess the specs of the computer from these upcoming benchmarks. Just don't be a cheater who skips ahead. For the first game, I loaded up Marvel Rivals. It was at 1440p with the Ultra settings preset, and I used DLSS. We ended up with 113 FPS average. And of course, I had to test Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on this computer. I used a native 1440p with the Ultra settings preset, had some fun running around knifing people, and we averaged 105 FPS. I also tested Cyberpunk at 1440p with the Ray Tracing Ultra preset, and we averaged 71 FPS. So that was about a week ago. Now it is back in the box, and this is my biggest risk / gamble that I've ever taken when flipping PCs. Will it be worth it? Well, how much money am I risking on this computer? I paid a total of $1,053.13. Here's a quick glance at the system. Go ahead and put your final guesses of the specs in the comments before I reveal them. So this is an HP Omen pre-built, and it has an i7-10700K, 32 gigabytes of RAM, terabyte of SSD, and the GPU is an RTX 3090. Pretty decent specs, but the GPU is definitely carrying the system. As I said, I want to flip it for profit, and the first thing that will require me to do is to case swap it and choose a more aesthetically pleasing option. That will be for the next episode though, and if you're curious about that one computer we sold, it is currently getting returned. That will also be for the next episode. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, subscribe if you loved it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.